Hey guys, so today I'm going to be trying out the Ghost Legend pre-workout. I've never tried Ghost Legend before, but what made me get this is basically they did a collab with their sponsored person that they have, which is Rob Lipset, and they made a flavour. We created a flavour which is called whiskey sour. I mean, come on, a pre-workout that tastes like whiskey. That's literally the only reason why I picked it up. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have. Because I'm not a pre-work person usually, and I just got a tub. Because if I do get pre-workouts, it's usually time for nutrition sachets. So this is limited edition, but it's gonna last me forever. And shockingly as well, it's naturally flavored. Usually with Gaze products, it's either just artificially or both, artificially and naturally flavored. This is just naturally flavored. So please bear with me because I'm not really a thing when it comes to like supplements and stuff. If I can find a review of someone kind of going in the science of it, then I'll link it down below, like I did with the other pre-workout first impressions that I did. But this contains L-citrulline, which is 4,000 mg. I think that's to do with pump. Beta alanine, which is 3,200 mg. That's the one that gives you the tingles. I've not got that from a pre-workout yet, but let's carry on. Next one is nitrogen E, I think, 1,000 mg. That's again to do with pump. And then Actigin, which is 50 mg, and that is to do with recovery. And then it's got taurine at 1000 mg, caffeine. It's got 250, so it's got 250 mg, which isn't too high, so I think I should be okay with it. And it also contains a new neurofactor coffee, which is fruit extract at 100 mg. I'm not sure that what that actually is. But yeah, so it says to do not exceed 2 scoops per day. It says mix 1 scoop of Ghost Legend with 6 to 8 ounces of water or beverage of your choice, or start with less than 1 scoop to assess your tolerance. And then obviously consume prior to exercise and training. It actually doesn't say like how many minutes before, so I think I want to take it 15 minutes before. But yeah, so it does advise that you mix, like you kind of test the waters. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do 1 serving and do, so 1 scoop. Hopefully I'll be okay. I'll probably put it at 10 ounces of water, the highest one, or even a little bit over. But yeah, so I actually can't wait to see what this actually tastes like. I don't really smell of anything. Where's the other? Now for the test. It reminds me a little bit of lemon. Like it smells like lemon. Okay, ready. That definitely tastes of sour whiskey. That's literally what it's called, isn't it? Whiskey sour. Yeah, definitely agree with that name, because it has got like a sour taste to it. I wouldn't say it's like a heavy whiskey taste, but you do get a whiskey taste. But if you got to remember that it's naturally flavored, whereas if it's artificially flavored, you'd probably get that heavy sort of whiskey taste. But don't get me wrong, it does taste like whiskey. It's not like the whiskey, as in how I usually mix my whiskey drinks, which is more whiskey than Coke. But that's just. But it's alright. It's an alright taste. What I was saying is, if you're expecting a really heavy whiskey taste, you're not going to get that. It's more of like a delicate whiskey taste, if that makes any sense, like a delicate sour whiskey. Am I making any sense to you people? I might not even be making any sense, but that's how I would describe it anyway. It's kind of like a delicate whiskey sour taste. So yeah, it tastes like whiskey. It's just not like a strong, like heavy whiskey taste, but it's actually alright. To be fair, I think it'd be a bit weird if it tastes like heavily of whiskey. Like to drink it in the morning. It would just feel a bit weird, because that's when I do my workouts, mostly is in the morning. Unless I'm like fixing it around when work and stuff. But that's literally how I describe the taste. Wondering what the colour looks like. So it still has a little bit of bits in it, but it's mixed decently well. So I'm 12 minutes into my actual workout. I'm getting a little bit of tingles, but it's actually not irritating as I thought it would be. So it's actually not like, because I thought I just wouldn't like it, but it's actually alright, but it's like very mild. So workout done. So first off, you're probably wondering, obviously, what the effects and everything was. So before I even got the tingles, I just had so much energy, but it wasn't necessarily just energy. It was kind of like, how do you describe it? Like, I just wanted to like just go like from exercise to exercise to exercise. That sort of like a get up and go, and not just feeling like full of energy. Like it felt like, you know what I mean, like motivation, shall I say? Like it lifted me up in a mood, and is that I found that again with more pre-workouts that I take anyway in the past, that um that I can take less rest in between and everything like that. As I said, I did mention that I did get the tingles. It wasn't annoying. Like if you've never had it before, it's like, if you've got a dead leg and it's coming back to life, and you may get a little bit of tingling and numbness. That's sort of what it feels like, but not to the point of pins and needles. It's like it's just like just waking up, if that makes any sense. It's not like irritating or anything. I don't find it irritating or anything like that. I would say, so my workout was about an hour. I will say the tingles are still there, but they're slowly disappearing. So I would say probably keep this if you're doing a workout for at least an hour. But yeah, I really like this pre-workout. It's probably my favorite pre-workout that I've actually tried. Um, do bear in mind that though, that my go-to one is a very like a weak version, if that makes any sense. Like it's not like, I don't really go for the high pre-workouts, just because obviously I mentioned before on this channel, with me and caffeine, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. I find that the caffeine in this is fine. I've not had no adverse effects from it or anything like that. But yeah, I do really like this pre-workout. Definitely recommend it. If, as I said, if you're not a massive fan of the tingling feeling, then it might not be for you. But as I described, it's not really annoying to that sort of degree. Like it's not irritating, and it's not like I just want it to go away. But yeah, really liked it. I found as well I could do more reps as well than I usually do. So there's that. I would say as well, this pre-workout, you could use as a daily driver, and you could also use it for like home workouts. Not like the last one, one, First Impressions, I can't remember what it's called now, I think it's a Rage pre-workout. I found that was best more suited for actually in the gym, because I felt that it felt quite strong, and it felt that it would benefit more for in the gym. But this one, I found that you can do it for home workouts, it's fine. I didn't feel like it was like, I didn't feel like I was not getting its full potential, if that makes any sense. I will say though as well, because of the tingling, if you are going to use it for home workouts, I recommend that your workouts are at least an hour. But yeah, really recommend it. I will check back later to see if I've got any crashes or anything like that from the caffeine. But yeah, I forgot to mention the pumps. Nearly forgot that. You do get quite a decent pump as well. So you've got a pre-workout that also gives you energy and motivation, but also gives you a pump as well, and it's decent amount of pump as well. It is currently 4 o'clock. So I actually remember to do a clip, but I've actually noticed it. So I have now I would say it's come off my body. It's definitely like something that doesn't last a few hours after, if that makes any sense, because from like 12 o'clock I was sort of yawning anyway, but from 4 o'clock I would generally, if and I wasn't that's what's to caffeine, I would probably go and have a energy drink or have a coffee right now. So I would say you do feel the drop. I wouldn't say that I'm like completely and utterly like knackered, but I'm tired enough to want to have more caffeine, if that makes any sense. If I could. Obviously you can if you want to. Obviously it just depends on people's caffeine tolerances, but I don't really have a great caffeine tolerance anymore. So it tends to, when I do have like caffeine in the daytime, like normal without pre-workout, I usually just have one, unless I'm staying up all night, say for example Saturday to watch UFC, where I'd have 2 cans, but even then, sometimes after the second can, it's like, whoa, too much caffeine. But right now, if I could, I'd have caffeine. That's how much it's kind of worn away, which I've not really had before. Like had like a, again, I wouldn't call it a massive crash, but because of that, I'd still kind of call it a crash, just because I am tired and I could like supplement with caffeine. So it's like the first time I've had it from like a pre-workout, but then again, I can't remember if I made it clear that the pre-workouts that I usually have are very weak, just because, as I said, me and caffeine, sometimes we get along, sometimes we don't get along. So this one is more, this Ghost pre-workout is more of a sort of like intense one that I'm used to, because as I said, I've not had tingles before from Belter Allen. I can't freaking say it at the top of my head, but you know, the ingredient that can give you the tingles. So yeah, but as I said, as an overall, I do really like the energy drink, even though energy drink, I really like the pre-workout, even though you do kind of get a crash. Not a massive crash, but I'd still class it as a little bit of a crash. But yeah, I do really like the way it performs. So it is probably something that obviously I've got the whole tub that I would use, but as I said, I don't take caffeine all the time, so I'll just reach it when I actually need, where I actually really need to reach for it. But it is, as I said, the best caffeine pre-workout that I've actually had. The usual one that I usually go for is the Time for Nutrition one. If you had that one, you know what I mean, as it being weak, well, compared to this one anyway. But yeah, that is it for this video, so bye guys.